up, nerds? It's Mike with NerdFellas, and I just got back from a screening of Marvel's Avengers Endgame. I even bought this awesome shirt just for the occasion. I did have some sandals, aka chanclas, that say Marvel on them that I wanted to wear, but I decided against it because I didn't want to embarrass anybody. So I'll do that some other time and embarrass myself. I really liked them though. Pretty cool. Just want to put this out there. This is going to be a spoiler-free review. Just first impressions, really. I don't want to give it a solid rating yet. I do want to talk a little bit more about it with people. I want to watch it a couple more times, kind of gather my thoughts before I give it a solid rating. But I do want to give you my initial thoughts. And if it sounds like I'm talking really low, it's because everyone's asleep right now. Was a pretty long night, and so yeah, let's just get into it. Avengers Endgame is the culmination of every single Marvel movie that we've seen since Iron Man. I just love the word culmination because everyone's using that word. But yeah, I mean, it really is. It's just every single movie has built up to the moments of Avengers Infinity War and with the conclusion in Avengers Endgame. And there were a lot of moments that I did expect to see, a lot of moments that I did not expect to see at all, and there were a lot of surprises as well. Some good, some bad. That's just, very broad. I can't really go into details. I feel like, if you were not a Marvel fan, if you did not invest your time, this is not going to be a movie that you would really enjoy too much, especially if you haven't seen every single movie. I think you have to have experienced every single Marvel film to really appreciate Endgame, because that's what it is. It's the Endgame. There's a lot of references, and there's a lot of fun stuff that happens in the film. I want to say more, I just can't, and just for the sake of not spoiling it. I will say I was really upset a little earlier today because I had shared a post about Avengers Endgame, and some asshole commented on it and decided to spoil a couple of things. And I read it, I deleted it, blocked this guy or girl, whoever it was, and when I went to go watch the movie, turns out that what they said was true. So I feel like that was taken away from me, and I really hope that doesn't happen to anybody out there, because there's certain things that have payoffs in the film. There's a lot of closure to a lot of things, and I feel like everyone needs to just really experience it. Overall, movie's great. I mean, the first couple of acts are a little slow. I want to say the first act really does set up the feeling of the film, where the heroes stand after the aftermath of Infinity War. So then it comes into a second act where we kind of further explore where the heroes are at, and I guess you could say the second act is one of those, if you really have to go to the bathroom, maybe the second act is probably the best time to go. And then someone can fill you in later, take a buddy, just in case you need someone to help you out. Not in the bathroom, but to fill you in if you go to the bathroom. But the third act of the film, the final act of the film, had me standing up, had me cheering. I mean, the final act was the big payoff of the whole culmination of 22 films. I mean, this was just everything I wanted and more, in all honesty. And not to build up expectations, it delivered in the end. And I was afraid for a long time. I'm not going to lie. The first two acts, I was afraid it just wasn't going to deliver. But when it came to that third act, I was like, okay, I feel better. I feel fulfilled. And a lot of things happened that I wanted to happen. A lot of things happened that I didn't expect to happen. It was great. It was like a nerd's wet dream. It sounds horrible, but it really was. It was amazing. There were a couple of things I would say felt out of place, kind of out of character, even for the directors, the Russo brothers. I feel like there were some choices made in the film that I feel like maybe the directors will hit themselves on the head later on and say, why did we go that route? In all honesty, I mean, they talk a lot about how they go into the writer's room and they talk about, okay, where do our characters stand? Where should the plot go? And, they round table this and, they make very educated decisions on where they think the story should go. And I just think there were some things that were kind of like, really? You want to do that? And I feel like there was one running joke that it didn't land with me. It didn't stick with me. It was something that I was like, come on, this just feels like they're trying too hard. And then maybe you'll notice it when you watch the movie. I don't know, but I just wasn't feeling it. And honestly, that was probably the only real eyesore in the whole film. But other than that, I think everything else felt pretty natural in the way it built up to that final act. There's great character moments. There's great action. I mean, the action. Oh man, I mean, I have to say, there's at least at the end of the film, at least an hour-long action sequence, and you're at the edge of your seat and you just can't look away. So I mean, I can't really tell you exactly when you should go to the bathroom because it's a 3-hour movie. So, I made sure that I went to the bathroom twice before, and even I had a huge soda next to me. I had my popcorn. I had gotten free pizza because my wife went and complained to a manager about something that, they dropped the ball on something. They were supposed to bring us concession. My buddy Martin ordered us concession, and they were supposed to bring it to us, and it never came to us. So my wife went and raised a little bit of hell, and hey, we got a few things out of it, which was much appreciated. But I didn't touch my drink. I think I had like 2 sips, and that was it. I was just afraid. I didn't want to have the urge to go to the bathroom, and I didn't want to miss any moments from the film. I was not disappointed. I want to say maybe the beginning and middle of the film fell below my expectations. Not by a lot, but there was just some choices made for the film that I was kind of like, you didn't have to do that, or you didn't have to go that route, but they did, and it's done, and whatever. But it's kind of like we can just brush away those 2 acts and really get into that final sequence, man. I can't emphasize it enough. It was great. Please don't spoil it for anybody. Let everyone have a chance. If you decide to post something or share a video of your own, at least say that it's going to have spoilers, just so you're not ruining it for anybody. But other than that, we should have a spoiler-filled review by Monday, maybe even Tuesday morning. I just want to give enough people a chance, and I really do want to see this movie a couple of times. Currently, as it stands, and if you don't want to listen to this, I'm just going to tell you where I rank each of the Avengers movies. There's 4 Avengers movies now, and I'm just going to tell you where they rank with me, and if you don't want to hear it, turn it off. I will say the first Avengers is still the best one. First Avengers. The second one, I will say, is Infinity War. The third one, I will say, is Endgame, and the fourth one, Age of Ultron. So that's pretty much my ranking on just the Avengers films. As far as where Endgame would land in my overall picks for all the movies that have been made, with Endgame now there's 22 Marvel films. And it concludes those 22 Marvel films, and we're still going to get a couple of sequels to some other stuff. Now, after watching Endgame, we can see the direction of where Disney Plus is going to take their television shows like WandaVision, Hawkeye, Loki, Winter Soldier, and Falcon and Winter Soldier. So there's now we have a full idea of where they're going to take these stories. I'm excited to see what the future is. I feel like there were some things set in place to ensure that there's a future with Marvel. I mean, not too much. I mean, I don't want to get your hopes up, but just keep an eye out for things. There's a lot of Easter eggs still, a lot of little callbacks, a lot of just some great stuff in the movie. There really is. There's maybe really one or two things that bugged me about the film. So by now I'm ranting. I apologize. I'm just really tired. It's time to go to bed. Other than that, if you saw Endgame, what did you think? Give us a comment below. No spoilers. Just let us know what you thought. And if you're going to be watching it again, how does it rank with the other Avengers films with you? Make sure you come back for the spoiler review, because I believe we are going to give one lucky subscriber an Avengers pop. It's the Walmart exclusive Rocket. He was hard to find. He might be easier to find now, but he was pretty hard to find for a while. So we're going to go ahead and get that to you. But other than that, I am Mike with NerdFellas. I really hope you enjoy Marvel's Endgame, and I am excited to talk about the future of Marvel with you after you've watched Endgame, and I can't wait to discuss some spoilers. So other than that, I'm Mike, Nerd out.